Okay, today we are playing a game on Iconvold. We are in the Diamond SR range, and we will be playing Moira the entire way through. There are some questions in the email that we're going to talk about before we start, because some of them aren't even related to the video that we're actually watching. But beforehand, let me show you this picture that the person drew. I'm pretty sure I've shown this once before, but that would have been months ago, and look, long-term memory's not my thing. It's an amazing picture. Based off a thumbnail I made ages ago also. Very good. Big fan. Thank you very much. Much love. I'm going to use that for my thumbnails for Hammond from now on. That's how much I like that. So first, the email questions. Is 1/2 tricking a bad thing when trying to climb? I've been playing pretty much only Mercy and Moira recently. Is it worth it to try and pick up another couple of supports, or just stick to what I'm good at playing? Enjoy playing. Just do what you want. It's really up to you. It's one of those things where, like, if you can play, like, the entire support roster, you know, that's only beneficial. It's never going to be a negative, but it's by no means necessary. People have climbed all the way up playing just bad heroes, so if you're playing a good hero and that's the only one you play, that's definitely fine. Doesn't matter. It's really what you want to do. If you only like 1 or 2 heroes, just play those 1 or 2 heroes. Doesn't matter. It won't hinder you that much. There'll be, like, a few situations now and then where, like, not being able to pick somebody else could be a problem, but, like, Mercy and Moira, they fit into most circumstances. Those two are, like, you can really ram a square peg into a round hole with those two most of the time. It's not a huge deal. And you can do it with anyone. Do whatever you want. I feel like I know a lot of the ins and outs of playing my heroes, however when I'm actually in-game I find myself forgetting to think about these things and essentially just running on autopilot. Any idea how to stay focused throughout a game and stop playing like a bot? I mean, it's a pretty person-to-person specific thing. Some people like to have a little noise that plays in the background every now and then, you know, take stock when you hear the noise playing. Some people it's not a huge problem because they're just like really good at focusing on something in general. I do find myself wandering every now and then and just end up like doing stupid things. For me, the thing that stops me doing that is I'll die to the one stupid thing I did and then go, what am I doing? I'm playing like a fucking idiot. And then I'll focus after that point. That's my method of dealing with it, which isn't great because it requires a mistake having already been made before I recover from it, but it's really person-to-person kind of thing. Maybe set up like a metronome, and then when the metronome tones, like, set it for however long you want, you know. When you hear it, just like look around, you know. What's my team up to? What's the enemy team up to? You know, just sort of take stock of things around, help focus a little bit. I don't know. I don't have a great solution for you on that one, I'm sorry. As Moira, should I use Fade to remove negative effects, anti-nade, dynamite, even if I'm not being threatened by anything else and risk not having it up when I need it? I use it to remove these effects all the time. Like, you know, you gotta be kind of careful about it, because you can get caught with it. If you do this, but like, Fade has a really low cooldown, and Moira is quite survivable even without Fade, because she's got just the heal off her right click, and the orb is really good as well, so like, she's pretty survivable even if you get caught with it down, but I use it to remove negative effects all the time. Dynamite in particular is a good one to cleanse, because cleansing Dynamite ticking off of you also denies Ashe the ult charge off of it. Anna's not getting anything extra out of the anti-heal on you, because it's not doing damage, but Ashe does get benefit off the dynamite ticking on you. So I considered that one to actually be more important to remove than the anti-heal is, because it's denying the enemy team resources. But, you know, I do it all the time. I'll cleanse both these effects with Fade. You just gotta be kind of careful, like if it looks like the enemy team's about to push in, then you probably don't want to do this, but I do it all the time. It's definitely fine to do. You just gotta be careful when you do it, you know, like most things. Doesn't happen in this game, but I've been arguing about it with the fellow Mercy for like a month. As Mercy, should I be giving Bob any sort of damage boost / healing, or just completely ignore him and focus on my boys? Healing? Definitely not. I don't think there's any circumstance where it's worth healing Bob. Damage boost, it depends on the position the Bob is in, because Bob tends to be really deep in the enemy team, in which case it's probably not safe for you to go and damage boost him, but like, Bob can end up in some pretty sick positions where damage boosting him is likely to get a bunch of damage in. Hello, my son. Do you wish to come? Yes, come on. You can jump, you're a cat, come on, you're very nimble. I know you're fat, but you can do it. There you go, there's the boy. Damage boost, oh, the camera doesn't really agree with the cat. Well, the program doesn't, has trouble recognizing him as not being part of the background. Damage boosting him can definitely be worth it, depending on the position he's in, because, I mean, it's basically like damage boosting a soldier from my perspective, except this soldier can't move, which in some ways makes him more trustworthy than the average soldier player, but, you know. So damage boosting, maybe, depends on the positions the position Bob is in, but healing, I don't think it's ever worth healing Bob. And then last, again, not video related, but I remember you posting some videos a long time ago about reviewing your own gameplay. Is that something you would do again? I swear you playing on Eichenwald is probably my most watched video of yours. That shit slaps. Thank you very much. I should. People liked those videos. The problem is mostly just that, like, I don't really play Overwatch as much as I used to. I mostly just play with my friends, and those are way lower ranked than those videos were. So yes, I would, but I basically just haven't been playing Overwatch enough. But I should, because people did enjoy those videos, by and large. My son, you're having trouble not phasing out of existence. It's terrible. And that's all the questions. So now, let's start the game. So we're up to no good, all the way up, chucking the orb in. Moira is extremely safe to do this with, so no big deal. Is this the highest quality that we're on right here? Yes, it is. Okay. It looked lower than it was. So, defending Eichenwald first. I mean, I'd rather defend Eichenwald first, because then you get to fatigue the enemy team with them having to try and push through you for a while. Don't need to spray on them that much, you know, you get the healing ticking on them, and then you don't need to, like, keep re-spraying them that frequently. You can give it a bit in between, because the regen ticks for a while. We're getting real low on resource right now, so we don't really want to be healing anymore at that point, especially since, like, they're pretty much fine at this point. Like, this guy, not so much, but, like, they're pretty much retreating. Don't really want to keep healing at that point. Chucking the damage orb at that point is a little greedy, because when you're low on resource, it's better to chuck a healing orb to try and keep your team alive while you regen some of your resource off the enemy team. We really don't want to be spraying this much right now, because even if, like, you're not using a lot by just spraying very short bursts, it's stopping it from regenning. It's stopping the timer on the regen, so, like, when you're this low, I don't want to push the button at all, really. It's not such a big deal if you have Coalescence ready, but when we're getting that low, it's better to, like, chuck a healing orb if we have to, keep the team alive, just try and sip the enemy team, you know. Two McCrees used Deadeye. One got Farah and one got Mercy, so, you know, if they could have combined their powers, that would have been good for both teams, you know, if they could have combined that. Things are getting a little spooky right now. We're a little pinned in here at the back. So this is the problem with, like, the resource from earlier, is now we're, like, really low while we're getting backed into the corner. So we can't, like, try and actually force heal them through that situation. It's like, you know, you can be in a position where you're not really decreasing the gauge any with the short burst, but you're also not recovering it because you keep doing the short burst. So be careful doing that. In general, if, like, when I like to have, like, 2/3 of the gauge before the fight, like, a fight starts, so I'm prepared to just, like, chuck a healing orb at this point to try and keep the gauge ready for a fight, because, like, right now we're down to 1/3, and that's a little spooky. You know, it's a little on the spooky side. So we're going to use Coalescence now. Rhyme was getting pretty low, so that's fair enough. Our orb did come off cooldown right as we pushed the button. So, ideally we chuck the orb there, but I understand also it was a little spooky because Ryan was pretty close to dying. But, you know, you want to chuck the orb out before you use Coalescence if you can. Ryan, don't die. Ryan fucking died, despite my explicit orders. Big ups to my man over here, McCree, in perhaps the worst position you could possibly be using Deadeye from. And yet he decided to do it anyway. Now, Mercy didn't exactly res him in a good position. And McCree just decided he would double down on that decision. Which, I mean, is his choice to make, sure, but wouldn't recommend it. Not a great angle to throw the orb at because we're retreating away from this direction, so the orb is going to get left behind. Ideally, we turn around and chuck it the direction we're running. I get it's mostly just to try and keep Toes alive, but it's going to leave the area so quickly that it's going to stop healing him anyway. By and large, doesn't really matter. Fight was pretty fucked at that point, but, you know, ideally you throw it in the direction your team is retreating in, not the direction you're retreating from. Oh, Mercy. Yeah, definitely chuck the orb to just try and make sure she dies, pretty much. She made a terrible error there. I do like that we saw Mercy dying. Like, she was in very much the corner, but we did snap to her. So, yeah, we're doing a good job paying attention to the side. This is worth pointing out to me because, boy, some people are real bad at noticing stuff that's happening in the periphery of their vision. But we snapped to the Mercy. She died anyway. Tragic, but I like that we saw it. So we've almost got Coalescence built up. This is a really good point to have Coalescence on because it's just a straight hallway. There's not very many places your team can be fucking around. It's really easy to be hitting a lot of people with Coalescence on the third checkpoint. Unless Ryan gets pinned like a fucking dumbass over into the corner. But at least he managed to get their Moira on the way back. So there's that, I guess, you know. If it works, it works. Brave to throw the damage orb because people were starting to get a little low. Did we have? Oh, we don't have Coalescence. Oh, not Coalescence. That wouldn't save us from that. Fade. Almost had Fade. Didn't quite have Fade. Oh, and then Moira. Oh, Mercy. Mercy, rather. Not Moira. The other one. Flashbanged. The second that she did. He was probably not even aiming for her. It looked like he was trying to hit the Hammond instead and was like, sick, got Mercy. Nice, planned, calculated. It's all falling apart pretty quickly right here. This is basically a Reinhardt-related issue. There's not really much we do to really stop this. Because Reinhardt's just been conceding a great amount of ground. He's getting outplayed by their Reinhardt, pretty much. Which makes it very hard for us to hold any ground. The first checkpoint, you know, the resource management thing might have helped, but we probably still lost that checkpoint anyway. This was not really an outcome that we had much say over. Our Ryan is getting outplayed pretty badly by their Reinhardt. Yeah, you know. I will say that if your Ryan is getting outplayed by their Ryan, Moira's not as good for helping that as an Anna or a Baptiste is, but again, if you don't play those heroes, it doesn't matter, but I will point that out for just thoroughness' sake. Anna and Baptiste are better at keeping a bad Reinhardt alive than Moira is, but if you don't play him, whatever, doesn't matter. I'll just point it out for thoroughness' sake. So, our Ryan also, you'll note, fucking died within mere microseconds of us leaving spawn. Not a great angle on the healing orb because it's just gonna float off again. Actually, I think we tried to throw it at the wall next to us and we just missed the wall. Their D.Va would have scooped it up regardless. But I think we actually did try to chuck it at the wall and we just threw it a little bit to the side. Moira was gonna... D.Va would have ate it regardless. So this is turning into a real clusterfuck, isn't it? Now this is the kind of circumstance that Moira is really good for, though. The more chaotic and messy a fight is, the better Moira is. Because Moira is better at surviving in that circumstance. And she has easily the best AoE healer in the game. So the more chaotic and messy things get, the better Moira is at dealing with that. So this is still being a clusterfuck. We've captured the first checkpoint, and yet it remains being a clusterfuck out here because it's just kind of a brutal game, isn't it? It's just one of those times. So they had a pharmacy. The Farah has changed now. They've got the double hit scam. So we don't have to worry about the Farah getting us anymore. Although we're really worried about that as Moira. Generally pretty hard to die as Farah. To Farah as Moira. I'm sick. Leave me alone, alright? Look, I know I've said like every word wrong. Did D.Va actually get flashbanged while she was coming in? My man, you got fucking defense matrix. Hold that defense matrix up. Oh god, what a fuck. Oh my god, this is oh, that poor man. Oh my god, he elected to be in that position. So our Rhine is no longer getting outplayed by their Rhine. Their Rhine has suddenly lost about 400 SR between rounds, it feels like. Yeah, sip that Anna. What is wrong with me? Sip that Mercy, yeah. That's something that, like, Moira players are really afraid to do, is just, like, sip somebody to death in that kind of circumstance, but, like, killing somebody is oh, god, oh, that's unfortunate. Why did we use Fade? Actually, what did we Fade for? And to get closer to the Rhyme? Unnecessary. He was probably fine from that position. They don't have anybody on their team that was gonna suddenly just, like, appear next to him and kill him. He was pretty safe. He was backing up with his shield up. You gotta be real careful when you do fade up to somebody to heal them like that, because there's a reason they're low health, is a main thing, and you're getting, like, closer to it. But we didn't need to use fade there. He was almost certainly going to be fine. And it left us without it for the subsequent self-destruct. I was making a point. Yeah, Moiras are, like, real afraid to sip somebody to death. Killing somebody is and always will be, like, the most impactful thing you can do. So as long as, like, half your team isn't gonna die while you're sipping somebody to death, kill them. Like, especially if it's a support, it's worth it. It was gonna be real hard to dodge that Earth Shatter with Fade. We were basically right on top of the guy. You know, ideally you dodge the Earth Shatter with Fade, but the closer you are to the enemy Reinhardt, the harder it is to react to it, because it travels in a line, or a cone on the ground. So, it was going to be hard. I would have been impressed if we did, but, you know, listen for the Rhine. Ah, the Dwarf of the Bush. We have offered him tribute, and he has repaid our kindness with abject failure. The Dwarf of the Bush is not to be trusted. Their D.Va is, like, real fucking aggressive. Oh my god, never mind. Ryan's getting clapped again. Oh my god. Like, this game is really a complete fuck. Like, this is a complete catastrophe of a game. Anna's just out there getting clapped while our teammates are dead, so, you know. Very good. Excellent, of course. You know, it's a real fuck of a game. No doubt. It's a fuck of a game. This is one where, like, you win or lose, and you're just glad it's over. Don't stand perfectly still. We did get shot a few times by that D.Va. Ooh, McCree slowly slid over the edge to his death. Reinhardt, Roadhog. Look, these are the same hero. Leave me alone. Roadhog killed a bunch of people. Then McCree's using Deadeye. I don't know where he is, and that's very scary. Alright, we didn't die. He was probably further up the bridge. Yeah, he's over there. Oh, we blocked it. Finally! And then we killed him. Their Reinhardt. Ours finally blocked something. Their Rein's alive. Anna. To be fair, there wasn't many places she was go. She was pretty sandwiched between the point and the wall. But, man, you know what Reinhardt players are about. You know what they do. And she still got by it anyway. Whatever, we captured the checkpoint, that's the important thing. Damn, he's fucking dead. He is fucking dead. Unfortunately, the third point on Eichenwald is very 2CP-esque, so him dying like that isn't going to gain us a massive amount of ground. I like that we snapped to the McCree also when we heard Deadeye going off, because he's almost certainly likely to take a big bunch of damage, so good awareness again. Anna's getting bullied around. Now we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna coalesce right into this diva. I don't really like that we did that. So like the problem with like this whole thing that's going on right now is I get it. We don't want Anna to die. The coalescence is unnecessary for keeping Anna alive. Just us spraying on the Anna would be enough for her to get out of this in all likelihood, because Diva, unless the Diva's really good, the Diva's not likely to just burst her to death. So coalescence unnecessary. We are a little low on resource, so I could see using it just out of fear of running out. The problem is, though, is the continuing to use it on Diva during this, because don't forget, like, we're doing this to, like, try and keep Anna alive, and that's all we're doing right now. That means our team's got no healer with them right now at all, while both healers are being occupied by the Diva. Like, once the Anna is coming down the staircase again, because she kind of looks like she might go with it, but then she backs up and starts coming down the staircase. At that point, we should just leave the Diva. We're not realistically going to do anything to her anymore at this point, because there is a large health kit up this staircase at the bonfire. She can rest over there, recover her Restus, it'll all be good for her, you know. So we end up using a lot of resources and a lot of time on something that was never likely to pay off, unless the Diva just kind of let us kill her. Once the Anna's, like, I get it to, like, fear of, like, running out of the resource, use the ult, all that, but, like, once she's coming down the staircase, it's time to turn around and just, like, focus on the team a little bit more instead, because Anna's probably fine by that point. We don't have, no, we're about to have a lot of ultimates. I was like, I just saw no ticks, I was like, we don't have many ultimates, but they were all at, like, 90%. Ryan blocked their Earth Shatter. Great job. He's still fucking dead, but at least he blocked it. Yeah, I don't like both the Anna and Reinhardt. Why do I keep doing these things? Roadhog decided to use their ultimates there. But you know, we can't control what other people do. Now we're getting got. Basically, it's just time to skedaddle at this point, you know. It's bad, you know? It's bad. At that point, I'm running away. I'm throwing that healing orb down the bridge, and I'm trying to get out, pretty much, because they're fucking dead. They're too slow. They're never getting out. Especially not since Roadhog got anti-healed as well. So we got one fight left. Unfortunately, half the people that had ultimates decided to use their ultimates after the fight was done. Which is going to make it extremely difficult, seeing as we're coming into many ultimates now. That was pretty sick that we didn't die to that, actually. I was like, where the fuck is he? There he is. Hey, dodged it. So, pretty stoked we survived. That's very scary, of course, but the pillars on the wall, or the railing on the wall, is actually pretty easy to hide behind. Still scary, you know. Stand behind the... You ever been on King's Row first checkpoint and you're trying to use, like, the lamp post to survive? If you get, like, the exact center point of view between it and the bot, like, it'll work, but, like, you know. Yeah. I mean, at that point, what else are we gonna do? You know? Pretty much done by that point. So, this was always going to be bad. Hey, we can look at the... We haven't seen these in a long time, have we? So, Magma Muscles is good. I don't really watch anything except for what happened, but he's good. Action Button is very good. These are very good reviews. Very funny, very insightful. They are all multi-hour long. I actually am going to, like, point out a specific one here for you, to be honest. Back it up over there. Take me back to that screen. It changed. Disaster. But there's a video I wanna shout out specifically here, and it's this video about Tokimeki Memorial. Now, this is a 6-hour long video. about a Japanese dating simulator that got released in, like, I don't even fucking know when. It was on the PlayStation 1. This is an old game, and it's very, very weebing. This is, no lie, the best video I've watched all year. I know we're 3 months into this year, but, like, this was a really entertaining, insightful video. I wanted to play the game in the video. Unfortunately, it never got an English release, and there is no good English patch. This guy can just read Japanese, so good for him. I can't. It made me want to play the game, but tragically, I cannot play the game. But these videos are very good. I will shout out the Tokimeki Memorial one in particular, but it is 6 hours long. But it is surprisingly good, I promise. So now, and look, there it is. It changed over here. Carl Jobs, the speedrunning stuff, if you're into it, good. Gotham Chess, I play chess. Gotham Chess is very entertaining. I like him. If you're not interested in chess, there's nothing here for you. What we got here? I don't know who this is. This is a fighting game adjacent, so I get why it's here, but I don't know who this is. This is also speedrunning, but, like, this... Look, I'm not gonna watch an 11-hour speedrun, okay? I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Neryl's great videos, love Neryl, big fan, very funny, very insightful, an interesting perspective on things, very contrarian opinions, but, you know, well thought out, convincing arguments. I got recommended Neryl from, like, another YouTube video I watched, and the summation of Neryl was, I don't think there's anybody that likes video games more than Neryl does. And that's about an accurate summation, to be honest. I don't know who this is. I like Dark Souls, so I get why it's here, but, I don't know who this is. So, hey, it's here, though. And I don't know who this is either. I like Doom, but I don't know who this is, so I don't know where these came from. This is just Guilty Gear music, which, you know, is good, no doubt, no doubt. So there, you know, we had some different ones on the other screen, but they're gone now. So, this was not really a game that we were likely to win. There was a lot going on. Our tank got clapped really badly for the majority of the game, which is always going to be a problem. There's not much you can do about that one, unfortunately. I don't really have much to say. We talked about some things as went by, but there wasn't really, like, an overarching thing to talk about, really. So, you know, about the best you could do given the circumstances, I would say. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered any of your questions from the email inadequately, please let me know and I will try to expand further. If you haven't already, you can join Discord, ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started showing on Twitch Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. Not this week, probably, because I'm still fucking sick. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and someone else enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and hope you found the video helpful.